Hi Aries, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And today we're going to be speaking about Saturn transit in Aries in 2014. Now, as we began 2014, Saturn has been in Scorpio and it carries on being there till about end of December. It's in a part of your chart that has to do with joint resources, it has to do with sexuality, and it has to do with trust. Saturn transits have been feared for centuries. A superficial reading is that they bring all sorts of calamities with it, and if you do not make the necessary changes that Saturn asks you, Saturn is going to be forcing you to make those changes. Now, what Saturn does in actuality is that Saturn closes things for you. It brings things to conclusion, to fruition for you. So if there have been things in the pipeline for the longest, or you have been procrastinating for a long time, whether it has to do with a personal change, whether it has to do with a career, a relationship, but it has been there for the longest, just been not just gestating, but I think you have just been procrastinating on it, and a Saturn transit happens in that specific part of your chart, then Saturn will bring two things to conclusion. It will bring everything up on the surface. It will make you acknowledge things as to what is. Saturn is also known as the karmic planet. It is known as a planet of cause and effect. But if you have dotted all the I's and if you have crossed all the T's, Saturn for sure will reward you. So, for example, if you have had Saturn transiting in your 10th house, that's the house on the midheaven, right between the 9th and the 10th house. It's a house of your career, reputation. So while Saturn will teach you its tough love lessons on leadership, on how it is that you behave with your teams, on how it is that you deal with success, how it is that you are at work, what sort of a team player you are, and post Saturn leaves that particular part of your leadership or your career house, for sure it will give you either a job promotion, kudos, some kind of a public recognition in your professional life. So Saturn does bring, I would say, life lasting rewards with it when it leaves your house. Yes, for sure it is a tough parent. It has lessons of tough love which are not fun most of the time, but they are rewarding nonetheless. Now in 2014, when we began this year, Saturn is still in Scorpio, and it's a part of your chart that has to do with trust, it has to do with intimacy, it has to do with fidelity, loyalty, joint finances, spouse income. It has to do with commissions, it has to do with royalties, loan, inheritance, and other form of profit sharing. Now this house is also, it's about our ability to trust and share our resources fairly. However, it does not mean that that you should start suspecting your closest partners or your spouse for fidelity or for being greedy or miserly or selfish. Saturn merely emphasizes that this is a lesson that now you need to learn as to how it is that you share, how it is that you trust in your closest partnership. So while in the 7th house the focus was who is it that you draw to yourself, who is the partner that you're pulling to yourself. In the 8th house it is what is the kind of partner that you are not only with the other person, but then what it is the kind of partnership that you desire, or what is it that you're reflecting in a partnership, how it is that you share your resources, how it is that you share your trust, your confidence, or whether it is not just sharing your trust and confidence, but how much is it that you trust. Since Saturn focuses and is a planet of high ethics, morality, and it speaks and it's very, very firm as far as credibility is concerned. For those who stay on the right side of the universe, that there's nothing to lie about, there's nothing to cheat, that you're being fair, you're not leading up anybody the wrong path. Saturn will reward you, and like I said, it brings things to conclusion, to fruition. So if you have been worried about trusting somebody, if you have been whether it is at your work that you've been worried about as to where your investments are going to be going, this is a time that Saturn will bring all these fears up on the surface, and it will make you address them. It could also be that your partner is going through trust issues with you, or there could be some sexual challenges at this point of time, and they could be affecting you negatively. It is also a good, I wouldn't say a good time, but this entire till about 2014 December is a time where you will come across a lot of these issues wherein fidelity, trust, how it is that you want to share your resources, your joint resources. It could also, the focus is also upon your partner's resources, whether either they are rising or they're falling, and how it is that your partner is your partner contributing fairly his or her share onto the whether it is the budget that you have both Saturn worked on. Now Saturn from 23rd of December will move on to your 9th house. That's a house of travel, communication, foreigners, different cultures, education. So that is going to be another story altogether. But till December, when it leaves your house, the 8th house on December 23rd approximately, 2014, the lessons that Saturn is trying to teach you is that it's showing you a mirror on things regarding your fidelity, trust, finances, joint resources. What is the kind of partnership that you're looking for in business and in personal? What is it, or how much is it of you that you're willing to share? In a lot of relationships, and we keep asking, what is it that I'm getting? What is it that I can expect, or am I being treated fairly? But this is a time when Saturn is going to be asking you that how it is that you have been, how it is that you share yourself, how it is, are you being shared where your joint resources are concerned? Are you being fair as far as your trust and the fidelity issues are concerned? So a lot of work, and like I said, the planet is all about cause and effect. So for those of you who are doing your homework well, for those of you who are trying to undo certain patterns that have been there for the longest of time, with Saturn coming, in any case, there are two things that you can do. You can choose as usual not to do what Saturn is constantly bringing up on the surface for you, or you can choose to consciously work and change on those issues and make the most of it. Because for those of you who will make an effort to change, Saturn for sure is going to be supporting you, and it will reward you when it leaves your house. So all the best, Aries. A lot of work, and for those of you wherein that issues have been, because Saturn normally makes this, each house it stays for about 2.5 years, and this is the second year for you. So for those of you who have been addressing these issues, or who have been seeing these patterns crop up, it's a great time to be taking stock of these issues and working on those. So Saturn for sure will reward you once it leaves your house. It's been great speaking to you, and thank you so much for watching.